There is such an extreme level of calm that it makes people look at you as if you were from another planet. Today you will discover exactly how to get there. Have you ever seen that person who never loses their composure? Who in the midst of total chaos when everyone else is panicking just takes a deep breath and solves it? While many are sweating during an important presentation, they speak as if they're chatting with a friend. While others are stuck in an argument, they respond with eerie calm. And you know what people say about this kind of person? Man, how does she manage to stay so zen? There's an ancient system created by the most legendary samurai in Japanese history that produces precisely the seemingly impossible kind of serenity. Miyamoto Musashi called it Gorin no Sho, the Book of Five Rings. But it's not just a book of military strategy. It's a manual on how to transform your mind into an impenetrable fortress. When you understand how this system works and apply it to your routine, you will never again lose control in a stressful situation in your life. But there's a catch. This system isn't about relaxing and being zen. It's about something much deeper and much more powerful. It's about becoming completely unshakable. Before I show you how it works, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like it below, and comment on a situation where you wish you'd stayed calmer under pressure. This helps the channel reach more people, and your feedback is important for me to improve future content. Thank you very much. Back to the video. Chapter 1. The Mind That Doesn't Move. The story I'm about to tell you happened to an executive named John. John was a brilliant man with an MBA from 2 universities, but with a problem. Every time the pressure mounted, he crumbled. Presentation to the board, a shaky voice, important. Negotiation, a blank mind. Conflict with the team, an emotional outburst. The pattern was always the same. Normal situation, complete confidence first. Pressure, increasing anxiety, maximum. Pressure, complete collapse, then anger at oneself for having lost control. Again, John tried everything. Breathing, techniques, mindfulness, even therapy. Nothing worked because he was struggling with something he couldn't even imagine. He was trying to control his emotions instead of becoming someone who naturally doesn't get upset, until the day he discovered why Miyamoto Musashi had never lost a fight in 60 duels. And it wasn't just swordsmanship. It was something much deeper and much more frightening. Chapter 2, The Secret of the Immortal Warrior. Musashi wrote, something that changed everything. The mind should be like water. When the water is calm, it reflects perfectly. When it is agitated, it cannot reflect at all. But here's what most people don't understand about this metaphor. He's not talking about becoming zen and relaxed. He's talking about developing what he called Heijoshin, the unshakable mind. In Musashi's duels, men died in seconds. There were no second chances, no time to calm down, no pause for a deep breath. It was life or death in fractions of a second. And in 60 duels, he never lost his composure once. He discovered something his brain hasn't yet grasped. Pressure isn't something that happens to you. Pressure is something you create in your own mind. When you feel pressure, your primitive brain interprets it as a life or death threat. It releases cortisol and adrenaline, preparing you to fight or flee. Your heart races, your mind becomes confused, and your hands tremble. You're not reacting to the real situation. You're reacting to what your primitive mind thinks the situation is. Chapter 3. The Illusion of Pressure. John found out the hard way. A presentation to the company's biggest client, $2 million at stake, a room full of executives. And the minute he started talking, his mind just froze. It wasn't The presentation that was causing the pressure, it was what he thought about. The presentation, the movie he had created in his head. If I fail here, I'll be fired. Everyone will know I'm a fraud. My career is over. This mental movie was more real to his brain than the actual situation, and his brain reacted as if he were being attacked by a tiger. Here is Musashi's first lesson. That changes everything. The enemy is not in front of you. The enemy is in your mind. When you understand that pressure is a mental construct, not an external reality, you can begin to deconstruct it. But Musashi went further. He didn't just want to manage pressure. He wanted to become immune to it, and to achieve this, he developed what he called Heijoshin, the ordinary mind. It sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. Chapter 4. The ordinary mind. Heijoshin means maintaining exactly the same mental state in any situation, whether talking to a friend or fighting for your life, having coffee or presenting to a board. The mind doesn't change. This doesn't mean being robotic or emotionless. It means that your center, your essence remains unshakable, regardless of what's happening around you. John began practicing this in a way that seemed crazy at first. He chose low pressure situations in practice, maintaining exactly the same mental state he had when he was alone at home. Ordering coffee at Starbucks, same. Breathing, same posture, same calm. Talking to the boss, same calm. Simple. Negotiation, same focus. The first week was a disaster. Your body fought against it constantly. Your heart raced, your palms sweated, your voice trembled. This is normal. Your nervous system has been programmed to react to pressure for millions of years. You're reprogramming something very ancient. By the second week, something began to change. He noticed he could maintain calm breathing for longer before the system went into alert. By the third week, he spoke at a small meeting, maintaining much the same mental state he had at home. A Stanford University neuroscientist who has been studying stress responses for 18 years discovered something fascinating. When you consciously practice maintaining the same neurochemical state in different contexts, you literally rewrite the neural pathways responsible for the stress response. The brain learns that the situation is not a real threat. One of the mechanisms used to reprogram these neural pathways is exposure to stressful situations you can't overcome. A problem if you don't face it head on. Don't worry, this doesn't mean you need to leave this video and instantly confront your problem. You need to prepare for it just as John did, training with smaller, less stressful situations. However, he understood that sooner or later he would have to face the demons that haunted him. Returning to Musashi's method, Chapter 5, the productive void. Heijoshin was just the beginning. Musashi went further and developed the concept of mu emptiness. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it's not about emptying your mind of everything. It's about emptying your mind of the right things. John discovered this when he finally managed to give a presentation without shaking, but he realized he was still spending too much mental energy thinking about the presentation instead of simply presenting. Musashi wrote, "When the mind is filled with thoughts of fighting, there is no room for fighting." Translation: when you're thinking about how not to get nervous, you can't focus on what really matters. Musashi's emptiness isn't Zen meditation. It's a strategic cleansing of the mind. You remove everything that doesn't serve the present moment and leave only what's essential. John began practicing what he called mental clearing before any pressure situation. 3 simple questions. What I need to do now? What do I need to know now? How do I need be now? Anything that didn't answer these three questions was out of his mind. Worry about the outcome out. Fear of others' judgment out. Anxiety about the future out. All that remained was the task, the necessary knowledge, and the ideal mental state. Chapter 6, The Invisible Preparation. But here began the real problem. Even with Heijoshin and Mu, John still felt like he was fighting something every time the pressure came on. It was as if he was forcing himself to be calm instead of naturally being calm. It was then that he discovered Musashi's third principle. The battle is won before it begins. Musashi never entered a duel expecting prepare immediately. Oh, the preparation happened beforehand, long beforehand. By the time the sword was drawn, he was already mentally in a state of victory. John realized he was trying to calm himself during pressure situations. It never works. Once the adrenaline has already spiked, once the cortisol has flooded his system, once his heart is racing, it's too late to try to control his reaction. Real preparation happens in the pressure-free moments. He began what he called ghost training every day for 20 minutes. He mentally simulated pressure situations and practiced maintaining the Heijoshin and Mu states. Big presentation next week. Every day, he visualized himself walking into the room, starting to speak, taking difficult questions, all while maintaining exactly the same mental state he'd had while drinking coffee at home. The brain doesn't distinguish perfectly between real experience and vividly imagined experience. When the real situation arrived, it wasn't the first time he'd experienced it. Mentally, he'd already experienced it hundreds of times. Chapter 7, The Unshakable Center. 6th week of practice, the ultimate test, arrived. Presentation to the board of directors, 15 executives, of $5 million. Project. If it failed, there was no going back. John walked into the room, and something happened he'd never experienced before. He felt at home, not nervous, not confident, not anxious, just present, like he was in his kitchen, making a snack. The presentation flowed smoothly. Difficult questions came, and he answered them as naturally as he would answer about the weather. Aggressive questions arose, but he handled them as if it were a casual conversation. At the end, one of the directors said something that changed his perspective forever. John, your calm is intimidating. Intimidating, not impressive, not admirable, intimidating. When your serenity makes others uncomfortable, you know you're operating at the right level, because there's something about true calm that people can't process. Most people are so accustomed to their own mental turmoil that when they see someone genuinely serene, it exposes their inner chaos. Their peace becomes a mirror of their own uncontrollability. And that's where you discover the real power of Musashi's system. Chapter 8, The Secret Weapon. Musashi understood something most people never will. Calm is not passivity. Calm is power. When you don't react emotionally to provocations, pressure, or attacks, you force others to show their cards first. They reveal their strategies, their weaknesses, their fears, while you remain a closed book in negotiations. This is devastating. The other party becomes desperate to get a reaction from you. They make increasingly aggressive offers, reveal information they shouldn't, and make mistakes they wouldn't make around someone who's visibly nervous. John discovered this when he began using calm as a strategy. A client trying to pressure him, he simply listened. He didn't agree. He didn't disagree. He just absorbed everything, maintaining his unshakable center. The pressure they exerted returned to themselves. It's like trying to push against a wall. all, the force returns to the one pushing. 3 months later, he was known around the company as the man who never loses his composure. 6 months later, he was promoted. A year later, he was running the company's most important division, not because he was smarter than the others, because he had become unshakable. Chapter 9. The Complete System. The Gorin no Sho system that John followed had 5 elements developed by Musashi. 1 earth Heijoshin. Ordinary mind, same mental state always. 2 water mood productive emptiness mind, clear of unnecessary. 3 fire ghost preparation mental, training before the real battle. 4 wind reading the environment, observe without reacting emotionally. 5 emptiness, unshakable center, identity that does not move. Each element builds upon the previous. You don't skip steps. You don't go straight to the void without mastering the ordinary mind. You don't develop the unshakable center without first clearing your mind of the unnecessary. It took John 6 months to fully integrate the 5 elements. But when he did, when this transformation was complete, people literally started treating him differently. Colleagues asked him for advice on how to handle pressure. Bosses put him in the toughest situations because they knew he wouldn't break. Clients respected him in a way they never had before. A behavioral psychologist at Harvard University who has studied leadership under pressure for 15 years explains there's specific neurological quality in people who maintain genuine calm under stress. They literally emit different neurological signals that other brains interpret as authority and trustworthiness. It's a primal response. We follow those who remain calm in the face of chaos. The Gorin no Sho system won't make you a more relaxed person. It'll make you a different person. Someone others will look at and think, how can she stay so calm? When you implement the 5 rings, ordinary mind, productive, emptiness, phantom preparation, non-reactionary reading, and unshakable center, you're not just managing pressure, you're becoming someone who is naturally immune to it. And when that happens, when that transformation is complete, you'll discover something Musashi knew 400 years ago. Real power doesn't come from reacting to pressure. It comes from being so centered that the pressure simply slides right off you. The question remains, do you want this level of serenity? Because it's not about relaxation techniques. It's about death and rebirth. The death of your reactive self, the birth of your unshakable self. The Gorin no Sho system won't teach you how to handle pressure. It will turn you into someone who has no control over pressure. And when you reach that point, when people start saying your calm is intimidating, you'll know you finally understood the secret Musashi immortalized in his writings. Serenity is not a state of mind. It's a way of being. If you enjoyed this video, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss future content. And tell me in the comments, what pressure situation do you most want to master using the Gorin no Sho system? Remember, the calm that intimidates others is the only calm worth having. If you watched this far, thank you very much for your attention. See you in the next video.